Hello YouTube, this is Outdoors New York, and today I'm going to show you how to disassemble your mossin Nagant rifle. Before we start, just a quick safety check of the rifle. Open the bolt, drop the magazine. I don't know if you guys can see from there, but we're clear there, and the chamber's empty. Okay, so close this back up. For starters, just going to remove the bayonet if you had it attached. Twist comes right off like that. Place that over there. Next, I'm going to take out the cleaning rod. When you get your mossin Nagant, it's going to come with a couple tools. Here's 4 of them. It should come with a 5th tool, which will be a little rod. Mine didn't come with that. The others in the store had it. But I don't know, I like this one more. So, I'm dealing without it. I had to use a pair of pliers, so I loosened it up before. You should be able to use that little rod if you don't have it either. Simple pair of pliers. You unscrew the cleaning rod, and then it pulls right out. Place that over here too. For the full disassembly of the gun, besides that little rod, all you're going to need is this tool right here. Once you get the rod out, you can then take off the barrel bands. You're going to depress the little buttons, and they're going to be real tight, so you're going to have to push them up, and you should be able to get them to slide up the rifle. Now, in none of your guns is the smaller band going to be able to make it over the front sight. In some of them, the larger one will. Mine doesn't, but that's no big deal. And then that removes the top part. You only need to remove the stock when you're cleaning out your cosmoline. If you wanted a field strip, I'll show you that quickly right now. This is all you're going to need to do. Bring the bolt back, and then to take it off, simply press the trigger. Comes right out. And then remove the magazine. There's a little tab in here. You're going to pull it down if you're holding the gun how I am, and it's going to open right up. Then you just depress the spring, and it comes right out. And now the gun would be field stripped. But we're going further and fully disassembling the rifle because I'm going to be cleaning the cosmoline out. So I take this. On the end, it's a little flathead screwdriver. There's a screw right here in the top back part of the receiver. I'm going to take that out. Bad part about flatheads, they always slip. Comes right out. Then on the bottom, towards the front, there's going to be another screw right here. And that's going to come right out. Once you've taken both those screws out, you're going to be able to remove this. And then, just slide the 2 barrel bands so they're not over the wood. And then the entire barrel and upper assembly will come right out. And now you have a fully disassembled mossin. If you want to go even further, which I am, for cleaning out the cosmoline, you can disassemble the bolt. What you do to disassemble the bolt is you're going to hold the handle, grab the back part, the safety, pull it out, and move it over to the left. Once you've done that, you're going to be able to slide the guide bar and bolt head right out. Place these aside. Now you're going to take this tool, or this is where your pair of pliers will come into play, and you're going to go with the first notch, the one closest to the big hole, and the firing pin is flattened on 2 sides. It fits right on, and you're going to be able to loosen it. Watch out because it could shoot right out because it's under tension. In fact, I'm going to take off some of the tension. by putting it back. Come on. Some of your tools are going to stay on. Mine keeps slipping off. So I mean, luck of the draw, these. Here we go. Starting to come out. Oh, still got to use the tool. Now I'm not really putting my hand over it in case it shoots. It's kind of sharp. I don't really feel like getting firing pins stuck in my hand today. I've seen it happen. And there we go. The firing pin's going to then lift out, followed by the spring, and then the bolt handle and the backing also come apart. And that there is a fully disassembled Mosin rifle. Some people go further and remove the trigger or remove the bottom spring out. I did that earlier during my wipe down, but it's not really necessary. The final step in disassembling your rifle, if you're doing it for cosmoline removal, is going to be to remove the back butt plate. When you're disassembling the rifle for maintenance and cleaning, this is not necessary. One screw on the bottom, and then one screw on the top. Come on. And then the back plate just comes right off. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to reassemble your Mosin bolt. What you're going to need is, of course, all the pieces for your bolt, and then the Mosin multi-tool. A pair of pliers could suffice because all you're going to be using are these notches. Okay, to start, you're going to take your bolt handle and insert the spring into the bigger of the two ends. So you drop that down in there. There's no difference between the two sides. It just goes right in. Then the firing pin goes inside with the screw end going down and the tip sticking up. You're going to take it, and I like to do it like this. It's a lot easier. I saw this in another video. You place the tip down on your workbench. Try and make sure you're using some sort of wood or something like that. You don't want to have the tip puncture your bench first, and then you don't want your bench to be made of metal and for it to damage the tip of the firing pin. So once you get it like that, you're going to take the backing of the bolt and you're going to line up this curve with this curve so they sit snug like that. Then I like to grip the entire thing to push down until this meets up with the rest of the bolt, like that. Then you take your multi-tool and you go with the first notch, putting it on the bottom of the bolt, pressing down. You're going to start to screw it in. And you gotta press down to compress the spring, and you just gotta do it like this the first few times to make sure it bites, and then you can pick it up. Get this thing back on there. There you go, and tighten it down quickly. Alright, once you tighten it down, you're not gonna want to tighten it fully. You see, tighten it down fully, and the back of the firing pin is sticking out from the back of the bolt. You're going to want to loosen it until it's perfectly flush. And when it is flush, the screw head and, oops, doing it backwards. In fact, you can even do it like this. The screw head should line up with these two notches. Now, this means your firing pin is going to be in the right position. When you're actually working the bolt, or you take it off safe or off fire or whatever it's called, you're going to notice the screw is turned slightly. That's fine as long as you start in the right position, because since it catches, it does turn, but that's normal for the operation of the gun. Then, to put on the last two parts, you're going to take your bolt head and find the long ridge, and that's going to line up with a peg inside the bar, and you're going to slide it on like so, and then you can turn it, and that'll lock it on. It comes off, put on, and it stays. Then you're going to want to slide the bolt assembly on and make sure the fork on the guide bar meets up with the block down here and goes on. The other thing you want to watch at the same time is that the peg on the top of your bolt head goes into the slot on the bolt handle. And once those bolts line up, keeping the bolt pointed up because these could just fall right off now, you pull back on the bolt, letting those two parts stay on, and turn it back to the right, and then you have a fully reassembled Mosin bolt. Another thing to note, although this is not necessary if you made sure your firing pin was flush, before you pull back and turn your back to the right, you can take your tool if you have one, and you're going to want to put it on like this and slide it over. If the second notch doesn't touch, that's good. You want the third notch, counting this being the second, this being the third. The third notch should just clip the top of your firing pin, and if it does, you know you have your firing pin seated correctly and it's going to strike the primer right. So then after that, you can pull back and reset the bolt. The firing pin's going to drop down inside, and you can see the screw in the back is slightly cocked. That's fine. Now we're going to reassemble your Mosin Nagant rifle. You're going to want to start by taking your butt plate and putting that back on. So you're going to just put it back on, take your two screws, your flathead, and just screw it back down to the wood. This is where it gets annoying having it being flathead. Screw it back in. And that's good to go. And then you're going to want to take your lower receiver and place that back down to the rifle. Then you put your upper on while holding in the lower receiver. Make sure you slide your barrel down all the way out to the end. And you should be able to, you can take your lower receiver out if you have to, wiggle it into place. Then put your lower receiver back on. Then you're going to hold them both together. You're going to take your two screws, the shorter one, going to go into the bottom. And you're going to screw it down. Tightly, but not so tight where you're going to damage it. Move over to the top. Same thing with this screw. This one you want to make sure it's in pretty snug because you don't want your action to move around at all with the little bit of gap that's there. Then the bottom for your magazine, just pinch it closed. There's a bar inside. You're going to slip it over the bar, release it, and then it clips right there. Take your bolt. Bolt's going to slide on. You're going to get to here, pull the trigger, and it should slide right in. Go down. Take your gun. If you want, you can do this now or later. Sometimes these guns get a little tricky. You might have to put the barrel bands on first. You might have to put the rod in first. It gets really tight. I like putting the rod in first. Slide that down. Screw it in. Once you get that screwed in, you take the top part of your stock, fit that over, slide it all the way down. Make sure your larger ring's on the bottom. Slide that till it clicks. Force your smaller ring down until it clicks into place. And there you have a fully reassembled rifle. Work the action. Quick safety check. No rounds in the chamber, in the magazine. Nothing in the chamber. Then you can close your bolt, test fire, and everything works good.